Good afternoon, and as we say in Texas, howdy. I actually got some howdies back. That's great. Well, it's been a while since my husband Peter and I were last in Blacksburg. He also earned his master's and PhD degrees from Virginia Tech. And I can tell you that the place has changed a lot. Gone is Books, Drinks, and Things, our favorite bookstore back in the day. But I'm happy to see that Mike's Grill is still there. It reminds me of a time when we went there for lunch as graduate students, and as we were ready to order, we realized that neither one of us had any cash. Of course, that was in the days before check cards, the dark ages. So we panicked, but because we didn't want to embarrass ourselves in front of the waitress, which is what servers used to be called, waitresses. So we did what any self-respecting graduate student would do. We told her that we had left the gel electrophoresis unit on, and we had to rush back to the lab and turn that thing off. And of course, she was a freshman, so she believed it. So that worked out. And actually, speaking of leaving things on, I also remember, again, as graduate students here at Virginia Tech, my husband waking up in the middle of the night in a panic. We panicked a lot in those days, apparently, to tell me that he had to go to the lab right away because he thought he had left the distilled water running. And so we got there. It was a false alarm. It was not running. But we decided to go ahead and do a few experiments that we were supposed to do the next day anyway. Well, in the meantime, my major professor showed up. This was 3 a.m. And so he was very impressed. He asked me if I was in the lab at 3 a.m. very often. And I said, well, what do you think? I didn't have the heart to tell him it was my first time, of course, but well, it is great to be back here with fellow Hokies. I have to tell you that we love living in Texas, but there's nothing like the Blue Ridge Mountains to inspire you, whether it's 3 a.m. or any other time. I think pastures and longhorn cattle are okay, but the Blue Ridge Mountains, I think, top that. Well, if you were born between 1960 and 1980, you are a member of Generation X. I want to see how many Generation Xers we have here. Okay, very good. If you were born from 1980 to 2000, you are a member of the millennial generation. How many millennials do we have? All of you over there. That's good. Well, I am a baby boomer myself. I was born in 1959, which, as I hear myself say that, it sounds like a million years ago. But Generation Xers, you need to know that you are a privileged group. In your short time, at least compared to me, you have seen the inception of the home computer, the video games, and the rise of the internet, or as we call it in my household, the Oracle at Delphi, because you can ask it any question and it'll give you an answer. Well, according to the Census Bureau, you Gen Xers, hold the highest level of education of any generation before you. Millennials, you also are a privileged group because you are the ones who have taken the internet and shaped it into a far-reaching communication tool. Your zeal for individual expression has helped create virtual communities where all opinions are given equal time. And you value old-fashioned concepts such as civic duty, selfless service, and character. And of course, you also gave us Harry Potter, and I don't know if there's a connection there or not. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, whichever generation you belong to, I'd like to suggest to you that you have been privileged to have the opportunities that have taken you through a path that has led to earning an advanced degree from one of the best universities in the country. And I know that some of you probably have had struggles, either for financial reasons or other circumstances. Even so, you have made the best of this opportunity. It has often been said that America is a land of opportunity, and it certainly was for me, and for so many immigrants who came to this country with nothing, knowing that if we worked hard enough and long enough, the opportunities would present themselves for us to succeed. Well, opportunity is not a right, it is a privilege. There are so many people on this planet, just as smart as all of you are, who still struggle to make ends meet, to survive, because they never were given the opportunity to rise out of their situation. There are others on this planet who squander opportunities and let them slip through their fingers, never to see those opportunities return. In fact, it was the famous American poet Henry David Thoreau who said it best when he said that fools stand on their island of opportunities and look toward another land. There is no other land. There is no other life but this. I congratulate every one of you, Gen Xers and millennials, for taking advantage of the opportunity to be here today. And of course, as a fellow Hokie, I'm very proud of all of you. However, and you knew there was going to be a however, taking advantage of the privilege of opportunity also carries with it tremendous responsibility. Not only because we must make the most of opportunities for our own sake, that's pretty obvious, but because in making the most of opportunities, we can impact others and the future of our country, if not our world. You see, the privilege of opportunity, because it doesn't get offered to everyone, must be used to help effect the changes necessary so that those who come after us will have just as many opportunities as we had, if not more. We are all agents of change, whether positive or negative change. You know, experts say that Generation Xers are pragmatists, people who look at situations and problems and approach them in a matter-of-fact way, weighing what is practical above that which is emotional. Experts also say that millennials are the next greatest generation because they are upbeat and engaged with a sense of duty and purpose, ready to fight for what is right and to make a difference in this world. So what happens when you combine pragmatists with heroes in the making, as we have in the room here today? What changes should we demand from all of you? The question I'd like to pose to you, for you to ponder as you leave here today and brave the snow, is will you work together as Gen Xers and millennials to find practical, achievable solutions to our greatest challenges in a way that serves the greater good with honor and a sense of duty? As a baby boomer, I can tell you that we are looking to you to lead this planet after a few years, to continue the good that we have done, but also to fix the mess that we have created. I come from a generation that grew up feeling indestructible, sometimes even entitled. After all, we were the ones who reaped the benefits of the greatest generation, those who fought and won the Second World War. We were the ones who grew up at a time when America became the undisputed superpower of the world. But we are also the ones who became rebellious of authority and somewhat cynical of the future. Heck, we don't even think we should get old. All you have to do is look at the late-night infomercials. Who do you think is buying all those anti-aging creams and the miracle supplements and getting Botox shots and buying total gyms from Chuck Norris, for example? It's baby boomers like us. Am I right, baby boomers? Yes. Well, we have made an impact as baby boomers, to be sure, but what the world needs now is pragmatists who can tell us that we cannot do everything, who will point out to us that it is human to make mistakes. But most importantly, we also need courageous leaders who can take a stance for what is right and not waver in the face of criticism. So you represent the two generations that can take this country to the next level through the contributions you will make in science, technology, the arts, business, education, whatever your field. You can calm the waters of irrationality while providing a new sense of purpose and direction for generations to come. Whether it is addressing the economic downturn, solving the issue of world hunger, finding alternative fuels, conserving our environmental resources, or finding expression in our innermost spirit, we need you to be engaged, to look at these challenges as opportunities to use your talents and abilities and to make this world better than you found it for the sake of those who come after you. You know, the future is just around the corner. If you Gen Xers and millennials don't do what is necessary, who will? I'd like to ask each of you now to pull out your cell phones or PDAs, and I know you have them, so don't tell me you don't. Take a picture of the person next to you. Go ahead. Go ahead, pull those things out. Either to the left or to the right, whoever looks prettier, I guess. Okay, I see some people doing that. And if you don't have a camera, maybe shake the hand of the person next to you, okay? But those of you who took pictures, you should realize that the person that you just took the picture of could be the one who changes the world for the better. So isn't it nice that you have their picture? You can say that you knew them when they were nobody. Of course, you know what this means. It means that probably they have your picture now, too. So don't disappoint them. Go make your mark in your field. Go make a difference in the world. And if you succeed, there will be someone who took your picture today who will be able to sell your picture for quite a bit on eBay, for example. Seriously, if you succeed, you will be able to say that you did what you were created for, that you took advantage of every opportunity, and that you made this degree that you have earned count for something more than just a publication in a journal. Let me close by saying that as Hokies living in Texas, my husband Peter and I felt tremendous grief at the events of April of 2007. Our colleagues and students at Texas A&M University were grieving right along with us, helping to plant a tree on the campus in College Station, Texas, in memory of the fallen in Blacksburg, Virginia. You know, the Aggie colors are maroon and white, but on that day, people in Texas wore maroon and orange. That's a lot of for Aggies to do because, you know, orange is the color of the University of Texas, which is a big rival. So I know I speak for both Peter and I when I tell you that we were with you during those trying moments, if not physically, certainly spiritually. Lives were lost that day, cut short of their potential. So let us resolve to take their place, to seize every opportunity to make this a better place, to make it into a world in which peace rules and love overcomes. Thank you for your time this afternoon. It has been a pleasure to address all of you. Again, my most heartfelt congratulations. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. May God bless you, and may God bless Virginia Tech.